Good evening, Metal Faithful. It is your mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the Metal Hammer of Doom. Tonight, we are celebrating. Yes, we're always celebrating something. It's like a party, nonstop. We're partying in the USA. That's what we're doing. But we are celebrating the 30th anniversary, or as the kids say, the late 1900s anniversary of the Metallica Black Album. They released a something like 60 some odd 53 track digital album called The Blacklist, commemorating the 30th anniversary of the Black Album. And we're not going to be here for the next 6 months playing all 53 songs because that's insanity. But I've got Jesse Starcher and Robert Cooper here, and we picked 20 selections from the Blacklist to play for you this evening and talk about. We'll talk about some of the other ones too, but we're only going to listen to 20 out of the 53. So let me bring them out here, and we can share all of our warm memories of the Black Album and of the late 1900s. Well, first, that giggling you hear right there is the man who he was essential, and now he's back. Jesse Starcher, how do you do, sir?
Mark Radulich, I am glad to be here to talk about probably one of the most important albums in my life, at least adjacent to what we're talking about here with the Blacklist. Metallica's Black Album drops 1991, and I just real quick, I know we got somebody else to introduce, but I want to throw this out here. We can come back to it, circle back to it, whatever. But I had seen a meme or just a picture on Facebook, and it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tapes, cassette tapes, ladies and gentlemen.
I think I've seen the one you're talking about.
Yes, and it said these albums were released within 44 days of each other in 1991. Mm-hmm. Starting with Metallica's Black Album, Pearl Jam's 10, Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Soundgarden's Bad Motorfinger, and Nirvana's Nevermind. And that right there puts into perspective probably some of the greatest hard rock / grunge, whatever you want to call it there, albums that got released in the tightest span of time that I could really imagine. 44 days these things were getting within each other. But yes, Metallica's Black Album, I've got plenty of stuff to talk about in regards to that. But I turn it back over to you, sir. Turn it back over to you. 1991, what a year.
Yeah, pretty a banner year in music. And that chuckling you hear is the man who started it all with me, the man who was brave enough to leave the confines of comfortable writing for the 411 Music Zone to spend an hour or two with me talking about metal albums. Ladies and gentlemen, the Metal Cooper, Robert Cooper, how do you do, sir?
You know, it's funny. I actually did find some of my old metal columns using the Wayback Machine. And it was like a blast from the past. I was like, man, I knew what I was talking about, but boy, howdy, was I a little too formal. Funny thing, you mentioned 1991. I was not born when any of those albums came out because I was born in December of 1991.
Oh, yeah. Look at you, little baby. Oh, baby Coop.
You could still claim the year as being the greatest year ever since you were born in it, so there you go.
That's true, and they could put me on the cover of Nevermind, and I could sue for emotional damage after my piss-poor art career tanks.
So, when I was just a lad,
a young warthog,
I was out there earning money, mowing lawns like you do when you live in the suburbs and you're not a shiftless layabout. And, I get $10 per lawn, and I would save up my money, and I would go buy tapes at the Sam Goody. For you kids, that Sam Goody used to be at a thing called the mall. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Sam Goody?
I remember Sam Goody.
Yeah, Goody got it.
I never got to experience one. I was more Suncoast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Suncoast was more VHS tapes than it was cassette tapes. Like music cassette tapes.
That's true.
Yeah. Because we had one of those too. In any case, the point being, I used to go to the Sam Goody and I would buy some cassettes. And I remember, and I've told you, Jesse, I spent my hard-earned money on Paula Abdul's "Forever Your Girl," Nina Sherry, the Buffalo Stance.
The Buffalo Stance.
Yep. I think the hardest thing I was listening to at the time was like Motley Crue's "Dr. Feelgood," which we covered here on the Metal Hammer of Doom once upon a Superblog team-up. But I was just starting to dip my toes in the metal scene. I had moved from the black neighborhood to the white neighborhood between the ages of 11 and 12. And from 12 to 14, I started to little by little get introduced to more rock and roll, more metal, and not so much rap music, but clearly I was still listening to that kind of music. I was just sort of figuring out who I was and what I liked. And I used to see all the white kids, all these honkies and crackers running around in their Metallica shirts, and I didn't even ever listen to any Metallica. Little did I know. So it's 1991, and I'm like, oh, Metallica has a new album out. Well, this is cool. All the little white people that I go to school with, they like Metallica. I see all their metal up your ass T-shirts. You know the T-shirt, Coop.
Yeah, the one that I should have worn to school, but instead the one that got me in trouble was the one that had the Punisher with a gun on it.
Nice. But yeah, every white kid who liked metal in my school in Long Island, New York, had that metal up your ass T-shirt, and I'm like, I'm going to buy this new Metallica album because that seems to be the cool thing. And of course, it was the Black Album. And I was like, so this is what they're making a big deal about. Little did I know at the time, Jesse, that the Black Album was a departure from everything from Kill 'Em All to And Justice for All, and it would forever divide the metal community. What a polarizing album this was back in the day, you know what I mean?
Well, didn't you just share a story? It was
last
on this
week.
podcast.
It was
or
last
somebody
week.
else, yeah, where you walked into a soiree and they were like, pre-Black or post-Black album.
Yep.
Tell me, brother.
Yeah, and they got out their billy clubs and their brass knucks.
They're sitting there hitting their hands with it, just waiting for an answer. And the wrong answer is going to get you an ass whooping.
That's the last time we heard from Mark Radulich.
I'm his twin brother. I took his place, Bob Radulich.
I wasn't into the metal scene at this point, and I'm kind of probably similar to what you were going through in a transition. And I will absolutely lay at defeat Metallica's Black Album and the Nirvana's Nevermind as being my transition into enjoying hard rock.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. The Black Album for me was actually like a bridge album between. I don't necessarily count Nirvana. Nirvana was a whole other thing, but I would say Metallica's Black Album was the bridge between what I had been listening to, which like I said, was Motley Crue and then some Guns N' Roses, but then also a lot of pop stuff or whatever, like Paula Abdul, like I said. But it was I went through the door that was the Black Album into the much heavier stuff that was about to come out shortly after, which was Pantera, Sepultura, etc. So this was like a gateway album for me. Now, Cooper, you said you're not, first of all, you were just born when this thing came out. So, like, how did you even discover Metallica, years later when you finally grew up and they were doing like Lollapalooza and shit by that point? They were not exactly making the Master of Puppets anymore.
Well, no, but my uncle really was into Metallica and Pantera and Anthrax, so I got to. I say I inherited his musical sense. I started listening to some of that while he was at my grandma's house because he was playing it so loud. It's not like you couldn't hear it.
Wait, where was he?
At my grandma's.
Thank you. Mark it on your bingo. Mark it on your bingo cards, kids.
Oh, that is a callback. Man, that square hasn't been used in a while.
No, we have not referenced our grandma in a long time. Hey, Melissa, have you made a call yet to your grandma?
My grandmas are dead.
Oh, your grandma is dead?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Time to get out the Ouija board.
Yeah, get out the Ouija board so that you can contact your grandma from the dead.
I'm trying to do legitimate work over here,
Are you legitimate work?
Legitimate work.
Is that legitimate work about your grandma? Moving on.
Professionals. Yeah, what's funny though is by the time I was really getting into, my high school years where the internet was a lot more pretty much active, it was so easy to find older Metallica and, by proxy, especially Megadeth, because that stuff was all available at Walmart too.
Right.
So I could just go and pick up Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Rust in Peace, and then I kind of just spiraled from there. It's funny. I went and saw Sabaton and Creator with my uncle and cousins, and my cousins were like, heard Creator, and they were like, "Where'd you find this band?" I'm like, "Bro, the internet. It's really easy. Like, I don't know how you haven't heard."
It's like when people say, "You do a podcast? You must be a wizard." No, every fucking idiot has a podcast now.
I mean,
it's funny.
Like, I know so many people that are just like, so many girls are like, "I love podcasts." I'm like, uh-huh. What is it? Like, yeah. Well,
Do you do true crime?
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
You, man.
Can't get enough of
there
that
are
white girl
certain
shit.
There are just certain things in life that have really become like basic things, like traveling, sushi, and like true crime. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Like, there are so many girls that is a personality trait for them. Is that like The Office? And I'm just like, tee-hee, you want to see my $1,000 magic deck? I went on a date with a girl yesterday that when I said that, she's like, "That's worth more than both of my original cars." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not good." It was nice, at the end of the date. I was like, "You want to do it again?" And she's like, "I think I'm a little too conservative for you." I said, "Okay, that's fine." She was very sweet but very boring.
Oh,
I mean, I talked a lot. Who'd have thunk?
No, you can't talk to women. You got to let them talk to you. Speaking of which,
Well,
Jesse.
She didn't have much to say.
Oh, that sounds like a horrible
I was just going to
date.
say, you guys. Okay, so Mark talks about going to the Sam Goody. Robert talks about going on the internet. Let me tell you a little something that I'm still in debt for, probably to this day.
Oh, this is the
on
Columbia
how
House story. I do love Jesse's Columbia House stories.
Well,
tell us one of your
say.
cracky tales, Jesse.
Grandma is getting Columbia House.
Who?
I see this neat little booklet sitting
Wait,
on
who?
her on her
was getting
table.
Columbia House?
Who?
Oh, my grandma was getting. She had Columbia House, and I saw this book, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I got Pearl Jam's 10 and the Nirvana Nevermind, and most likely Metallica's. If I didn't get the Black Album, I got the previous albums after getting the Black Album from Columbia House. So yes, to this day, that's how I got my hands on the tapes from 1991.
So I'll tell couple of more Metallica stories here between all of us, and then let's actually get into the album that we're supposed to be doing before it becomes like a 3-hour podcast.
There's only 20 tracks we got to go through. That's all.
So I talked to you guys about this before the show, but for the benefit of those of you who came here from TikTok or wherever it is I posted this and are like interested in our review. So I married my wife a little over 10 years ago. Got married in 2009, and
It's almost.
Oh boy.
I said it was a little over 10 years. A little over 10 is 12.
When's our anniversary, Mark?
Next month,
When next month, Mark?
October 3rd, 2009.
Good job. Okay, just making sure. When's my birthday?
February 2nd.
I hope she teaches math. And
It's September.
she just gives you.
It's September
nothing but
24th, 1983.
Good job. You didn't screw it up this time.
Okay, now go continue writing letters to your grandma.
Oh. Shut down.
Anyway, before we were so rudely interrupted by Melissa's grandma,
And he was divorced on.
so one of the things we did at the wedding was we had various readings. We had people doing various readings, and Melissa, kept true to traditional stuff that you would do readings with at a wedding. And then I was asked to pick something that would be a reading as well. And I was like, I'm going to have my dad read the lyrics to Nothing Else Matters. Because I think it's a great song, and I think it really does spell out my feelings for my soon-to-be wife. But also, I think it would be hilarious if my really like weirdly awkward and like like autistic dad just read the lyrics to this and didn't know what he was reading. So I was like, "Here, Dad, just read." And I didn't tell him what it was. I was like, "Just read this." And he's like, "Trust, I seek, and I find in you." And people are trying to not laugh themselves silly.
Or
People were like biting on their fists. There was apparently Melissa's cousin just had to like hold his face because he was laughing so hard. The best was at the end of it, one of my friends actually busted out a lighter and like held it up.
nice.
That is some cringy dad worthy stuff right there.
It was the best part of my wedding. It was the best part of my wedding. Want to know what the worst part of my wedding was? When my wife blinded me with the cake. Because instead of just putting a little on my face, oh, aren't we cute? She took the entire thing and shoved it into my eye.
Should have closed your eyes, dumbass.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, at least she didn't get you with something else. Damn.
That came later.
Oh, no, not the crying game.
Oh, no.
So yeah, I used to love Enter Sandman. Actually, one of my favorite Metallica memories has nothing to do necessarily, has very little to do actually with Metallica. But you guys remember the Sandman from ECW, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course, life's a bitch, then you marry one.
So, do you guys remember, I want to say it was one of the one-night stands, and it might have been the first one, where the Sandman came out, and they actually licensed Enter Sandman, and he came out through the crowd, and they had to play the song like twice because it took him so long because people were like all over him. And John Bradshaw Layfield was like mouth agape, like he'd never seen somebody get this much love and attention in an entrance. That's a great Metallica moment for me.
Yeah.
I saw Metallica on their Never Ending Black Album tour because around the same time that they did the Black Album, shortly thereafter, they released that box set. Remember the box set, Jesse?
I'm trying to think of what.
It was like the crate. Do you remember this, Cooper? I mean, this was obviously before your time, but maybe you've seen it years later in record stores. It was like that gray, like music case, but it was I can't remember what all was involved with it.
All I can think of is Sarah and John right now.
Shut up!
Did you get the box set?
You get the box set?
Did you get the box set?
Yeah, that box set. So they were shortly after the Black Album, when they were on their never-ending tour, they were selling this huge box set of Metallica stuff, and it was like demos and whatnot. So they were also promoting that as well. So I saw Metallica with Danzig and Suicidal Tendencies. Have you ever seen them live, Jesse?
No, I have not.
How about you, Cooper? How many times have you seen Metallica?
Once, and they played 6 fucking songs from the Black Album, and I'm like, God damn it.
I wanted something else.
Well, I mean, they played Motor Breath, and I lost my shit, but
Yeah.
like, when they played Enter Sandman, everybody was like, oh, yeah, and I'm just like, ugh. Why did you play Through the Never?
So I've talked about this is marriage number 2 for me. And you know, the very first time I got married, I had a bachelor party. Sorry, I had a pretty traditional bachelor party. You know, hookers, cocaine, that sort of thing, like you do.
Sure.
And
Sure.
Jesse knows what I'm talking about. Jesse's married.
yeah.
A few old toots of the booger sugar.
You know, little nitrous oxide, whatever gets you through the night. And Jesse knows, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, second time around, I didn't want to do that again. I didn't want to party, you know, like it's 1999. I wanted to do something else. So my brother-in-law took me to go see Metallica and Lamb of God. And this was like the night before my wedding. We drove down to West Palm Beach and saw that. Yeah, it was a good show. But it was one of those where, so, you know, this was obviously 2009. And
Hey, I was 17.
You want me to go to bed now?
And what came out around 2009? What were they touring on, Jesse? Was that that couldn't have been Death Magnetic?
Death Magnetic.
Okay. All right. I was going to say. I
Yeah,
don't know
because
off the top
Death
of my head.
Magnetic was 2000. I think that was like 2007 or 2008. 2008, I think.
Okay, so
Because I had a tie-in with Guitar Hero.
You're right. I
Okay,
actually had,
there you go.
I actually had that game. Yes.
And the audio was a lot better on the Guitar Hero version than it was on the album.
So yes, this was the Death Magnetic tour, and which I really like, by the way, as far as Metallica albums go. In any case,
It's a good one.
so we go to see, so like my brother-in-law takes me down there. We go see the show. That's a great way to spend a bachelor party, I think, is to go see, one of your favorite bands play live. Except that they played mostly stuff from Death Magnetic, and like all I wanted them to play was Master of Puppets, and they were like they played like half of it and then went into a medley. I'm like, you motherfuckers!
Damn it.
Yeah, they played like the fucking Unforgiven 3.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so let's talk about the Blacklist. It's no secret that Metallica's self-titled fifth album, The Black Album, is one of the most commercially successful records of all time. Yeah, I was telling my daughter about this. This is the story I told you on Monday, Jesse, that we were listening to the Blacklist in the car, and I had to explain to her what Metallica was. I'm like, yeah, Lily, it's the most famous, most commercially successful modern record of all time. It's still selling records in an age when you can just steal music. People are still buying the Black Album.
Music. You just pay $10 and you get access to all music.
Or you just go on YouTube and listen to it for free.
Yeah.
Mark, just real quick, did you have a chance to watch the behind the albums on this one? I think it's called Behind the Albums on Amazon on this specific album. Oh,
I have not yet.
Okay. If you get a chance, if it's still up, I absolutely recommend it. I know that's not the title of it. I'm going to have to look that. Classic Albums is what it's called. Anyway, they did a Classic Albums documentary on the Black Album, and it was on Amazon for a while. Most of the Classic Album stuff is still on there, I believe. But fantastic documentary talking about Bob Rock and all the all the ins and outs of the Black Album. But go ahead and continue.
All right. So its 1991 release propelled Metallica to bona fide household name superstardom, and its impact and relevance have only grown with the years. The Black Album remains the best-selling album of the past 3 decades, and one of only 2 albums that have spent 550-plus weeks on the Billboard 200. Egad. The Metallica Blacklist celebrates the 30th anniversary and enduring influence of this musical milestone. Yeah, that was another thing I told Lily. Every single band on Earth, and some of them that are gone, have covered Metallica. And have covered something from the Black Album. I think you're not allowed to buy a guitar at Guitar World unless you can play Enter Sandman. An unprecedented 50-plus artists spanning an unbelievable vast range of genres, generations, cultures, continents, and more, each contributing a unique interpretation of their favorite Black Album cut, or the one their producer told them to do. Much more than a mere tribute, the Blacklist offers up new dimensions of the record whose gravitational pull first drew the mainstream to Metallica in 1991 and provides new insights into the universal and timeless appeal that kept it there. The boundary-smashing influence these 12 songs have had on fans and musicians of all stripes. Blacklist 53 tracks find singers, songwriters, country artists, electronic and hip-hop artists that Robert Cooper loves, sharing their love of these songs alongside punk rockers, indie darlings, and lots of them, icons of rock, metal world music, and many, many more. The Metallica Blacklist is a fitting and limitless homage, one that features bands who've shared stages with Metallica alongside artists who are younger than the original album. It's a truly staggering, at times mystifying assemblage of musicians, dozens of whom have had little to nothing in common, other than their shared passion for the music that united them for this album. And really, as we said on my wedding day, nothing else matters. All right. Unless we've got any more stories we'd like to tell, and we can certainly tell them throughout the course of the podcast, let's get into the first songs here. And like I said, we're just playing 20 out of the 53, and we're going to play them in groups like we did. So for this first part, we picked 3 out of the 87 versions of Enter Sandman that are on here. So we'll start with that first. How does that sound?
Fantastic.
3 Enter Sandman.
I got to get it out of the way eventually.
All right, so we got Ghost, Weezer, and Alicia Cara in The Warning.
Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget, my son, to include everyone. I'll tuck you in, warm within, keep you free from sin till the Sandman comes. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Exit light, end of night. Take my hand. We're off to Never Never Land. Something's wrong, shut the light. Heavy thoughts tonight in the yard of Snow White. Dreams of war, dreams of liars, dreams of dragons, fire, and of things that we're fighting. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Exit light, end of night. Take my hand, we're up to Never Never Land. Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget my son, to include everyone. I tuck you in, warm within, keep your feet from sin, till the serenity comes. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Exit light, enter night. Take my hand, we're off to Never Never Land.
Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget my son, to include everyone. Tuck you in, warm within, keep you free from sin, till the serenity comes. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Exit light, enter night. Take my hand, we're off to Never Never Land.
Whoa, we're off to Never Never Land. Jesse Starcher. Oh, oh, oh.
Say it, Mark Radulich.
Oh, Jesse's Dodger, Neverland, Robert Cooper, Grandma. All right. So, like, half the people listening to this podcast are going to get the grandma joke. The other half, like, why do they keep yelling grandma?
Somebody's gonna have to explain it.
Not
Well,
me.
I mean, it's because if I'm not mistaken, isn't it a King Diamond song? Or is it, no, it was a Merciful Fate song where it was, just starts out with Grandma.
Yep. Yes.
Which one was that?
I don't. Well, I'll tell you what. You type in Merciful Fate and Grandma, and it'll come up. But
Oh yeah.
But okay, so the whole set of Enter Sandman, I said I slight exaggeration. It's not 87. There were 6. It actually starts with Alicia Cara in The Warning, then Mark DeMarco, then Ghost, then Juanes Addiction, then Rina Sawama Yama Rama Lama Ding Dong, and then Weezer. And Jesse, I got to go to you first about this because, like, you're listening to this and almost like aggravated wrote me and like, fucking Weezer's always got to get their shit in, man. You want to explain yourself, sir?
Well, okay, so listen, you know that you're the cover guy, and I'm usually not. I'm the guy that used to be like, I'm not a big fan of covers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to this album, and I'm like, okay, how do I go through and decide which ones I like? Okay, do I go for the ones that sound different and are unique? And that's kind of what I landed on. I was like, okay, I'll go with the ones that kind of sound unique, really, and stand out and are different from what we usually get and are enjoyable at least. Okay, because there is a lot of stuff that's different on this album, but I didn't enjoy some of it. Then Weezer comes along, and they do their best Enter Sandman. Okay, and it's a really like almost a very, very faithful cover.
Yes.
And then in the middle of I shouldn't say in the middle, towards the end, like Weezer's got to go off and do. Is that from the Sweater song?
It's Buddy Holly.
Buddy, okay. They like straight up. Yes.
We all look just like Buddy Holly.
Like,
And the Mary Tyler Moore. I don't care what they say about her anyway. I don't care about that.
Yes, they don't care about that. And Weezer, okay, was doing great, and then they're like, "Hey, we're Weezer. Guess what, guys? I don't know if you knew this or not, but we're Weezer, and we're covering Enter Sandman."
Yep,
And
just midway through the
back to
song,
Enter Sandman.
pants down, dick out. We're Weezer.
And then by the end of the song, like they're walking off whistling, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, it's a decent cover. I really liked what I heard from Weezer in that, but I just, that is not the only example of some band trying to get their shit in on this album, because that happens a couple more times, which is pretty interesting. Now, we played Ghost's cover. And
how great is Ghost? We've actually reviewed them here on the Metal Hammer of Doom before. Ghost is a weird fucking band, and considering what they look like and all the shenanigans that, and overdramatic shit that goes on with this band and its singer, they still put out some of the best music in the metal genre, in my opinion.
I agree. I really enjoyed the last album that they did. I haven't had a chance. It's been a while since I had a chance to revisit it, but I remember listening to that repeatedly for quite a while. But yeah, their cover is exactly what I expected of Ghost. It was, at first I was worried because they started off very, very subtle, but I was like, well, wait a second, that's Ghost for you. And then all of a sudden they kick it up, and I'm like, okay, that's nice. That's very nice. I made sure that Alicia Cara and The Warning got on the playlist. Out of the 6 that we had, we did half of them. But I loved the difference that they stood out to me among the 6. There's a lot of them that were very faithful to what you heard, and then that one right there, it seemed like they owned that and turned it into something that they could call their own. So that's why I made sure that Alicia Cara and The Warning were on there.
All right, Cooper, first, did you find the Merciful Fate song?
Why, of course I did.
And what is it?
As he fumbles for the keyboard immediately.
Why, Mark?
Welcome home.
Well, that's right. All right. So I want to get your thoughts in on these, or any one of the Enter Sandmans, if you heard the other ones and have an opinion. I honestly don't remember. I remember, like, the Mac DeMarco one kind of just being meh. And the Juanes and Rina Sawayama Yama Rama Lama Ding Dong M. Night Shyamalan.
Japanese British singer songwriter model and actress based in London, born in 1990. Go ahead, Mark.
Good for her. I just like none of these Like, there are definitely some songs on here that we're not going to play, but I still kind of remember them. Like, oh, that's really weird. That's really different. I honestly, on my children, could not tell you anything about Juanes or Rena Ramalama Ding Dong. So what did you think of the 3 that we played and the 3 that we didn't?
Let's see. So Alessia Cara and The Warning, I honestly didn't have much of a problem with the sound. I thought it sounded fine. It actually sounded very good. Really, for me, it was just more a victim of modern trends is the reason I wasn't a big fan. Mm-hmm. I know I talked about it some in the pre-show, but I've noticed there's, especially in terms of advertising, there's this big trend right now with television promos and like insert songs in movies to where they take a normal song and slow it down a solid fucking 20 beats per minute, and then make it really light and add in really haunting female vocals, which, the first time I heard it, I'm like, I could dig this. But like the one that stood out to me was, my first movie, second movie I saw, third movie, actually, Black Widow. It's when I went and saw that in theaters, and just hearing that version of Smells Like Teen Spirit, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And this kind of gave me that same feeling of just like, all right, yeah, whatever. And it's just one of those, that's just me. I just really feel it's indicative of modern styling. Because otherwise, like, she has a beautiful voice and they did a good job. It's just, I'm just tired of hearing that. Ghost, it's Ghost doing Enter Sandman. It's exactly what I expected, and I loved it. Yeah. Juanes, it is, again, exactly what I expected from a band called Juanes. A little more simple in terms of overall composition, more of a Latin rock vibe. It was all right. Rina Sawayama, though, I felt her version was a lot more industrial. Very highly produced. The vocals were really pop-like because it was very, very clean. And just had some interesting use of samples because there was a few samples of the original song in there, kind of that backing James Hetfield in a way. And then let's see. Weezer. So me and Weezer have a tough time because that was my ex's favorite band, and I still get PTSD just thinking about her. So yeah, not. And what was the last one? Sam Fender.
Fender. That's sad but true.
Okay, I guess I didn't make a note on whatever the last one was. But I think you got them all. We talked about Mac DeMarco. Mac DeMarco. My notes for Mac DeMarco was some dirty rock and roll. That's just kind of the vibe it gave me when I heard it. Yeah. But I didn't remember much of it. There was a certain point where I had started making far simpler notes where I was just like, when you got all these songs, dude, that's all you could do. It's like maybe 6 words.
I'm gonna make an observation about Enter Sandman, and then we're gonna move on. But Enter Sandman is in this weird place in music history right now, where it's a song that, devoid of any other context, like if you're hearing it for the first time, it still slams. I mean, there's a reason why this album is as popular as it is. It's not by accident or by some degree of trickery or orc mischief. These songs are fucking amazing. And Enter Sandman is like, real quick. So I worked on, I think it was Memorial Day. No, what was the holiday that just passed? September 11th. Shit.
Labor Day.
No, Labor Day's coming up. Or was it? Fuck, I don't remember anymore. The point of the story.
Labor Day.
I worked on September 11th, and I work in a jail with cops. And I don't know if you know this about law enforcement. They tend to be patriotic. Some might even say jingoistic. Anyway, they loves them some America music. And we had a barbecue in the jail that I work in. Hot dogs and hamburgers and bakery and chips and soda. Yeah. I walked into the officer's dining hall, and you just got hit with, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, on repeat. And as loud as fuck, too. And nobody was, and it was like, yeah, September 11th, we're cops, proud to be an American. Play that bitch every hour on the hour. all out.
Play that.
They
funky
need to be
music,
playing
white
Real
boy.
American, actually.
The point is, as much as like that's an anthem for those kinds of people, Enter Sandman is another like anthem. You know what I mean? It is like you hear it at like, sports games, stadiums and whatnot. You hear every band on earth has covered it. It is like an embedded part of the culture. If there's a time capsule being buried right now for future civilizations to unearth, Enter Sandman's going in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of, so I was just thinking of, this is an anthem for drunk moms. Man, that Judas Priest show, so many drunk moms.
I'm sure.
Including, I actually lost another game, because I lose this game all the time at work, of a wife or daughter. This guy looked like he was in about his mid-40s, and she was about 5 foot tall and real cute and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's probably his girlfriend, but she's pretty, I don't know, she looks way too young for him. Then she puts her leg up on the chair, and he starts rubbing it, and I'm like, that's a really touchy family.
Hey, don't touch your daughter like that. Excuse me? But here's the other side of where I was going with this.
And this is not the right state for this. Or maybe it is.
Here's where I'm going with this, though. Also, and I want to get your opinion on this, Jesse, and then we're going to quick move on. I feel like Enter Sandman's also like way played out. Like, I'm just tired of hearing it. Like, as much as everything I just said before, it's one of those where it comes on and I'm like, really, white people? Do we not know another song? You know what I mean?
I don't know about all that. I mean, I don't get bogged down as much anymore with the hard rock radio station because I don't listen to it. So
Sure.
I get to pick and choose anymore. So with listening to when I started this album, I realized there were 6 versions of Enter Sandman. I was like, well, at least it's not 6 versions of the oh my gosh, Unforgiven. Okay,
Oh no.
but yeah, I can understand. However, I still think on that, I'm more on that flip side of that coin where it's a kick-ass song. Do you remember July 30th, 1991? The video hits MTV, and I don't know how many times I was like, I cannot wait to see this video again.
How many kids in your school that were into metal had the Old Man T-shirt?
Oh yeah, no kidding, dude, no kidding. But yeah, I was a big fan with what I heard. I'm a huge fan of the Enter Sandman song, so I was fine with getting to hear the 6 versions we did here on this album. But yeah, man, I'm ready. We can move on if you're ready.
I am. All right, next group here that we're going to look at.
Radio, and they are never done with Enter Sandman.
Well, the one thing that broke my heart was hearing it on the classic rock station. That's what killed me. That killed me.
They were playing Evanescence one day. Like, I remember pulling in, this was 5 years ago, I pulled into the fucking house, and I was like, wait, what? I started flipping through the channels. I'm like, this is a fucking classic rock station.
What the hell?
What the fuck is this?
All right, I'd like to introduce the songs now.
Okay, go ahead.
Thanks. All righty, folks. The next couple of tracks we're going to hear are Sad But True, 2 from Sad But True and 2 from Holier Than Thou. We got Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, the Mexican Institute of Sound, Biffy Clyro, and Corey Taylor. you know not.
Not.
Starcher.
Woo.
First, let me say that despite Robert Cooper's reservations and perspirations, I insisted that the Mexican Institute of Sound featuring La Perla and Guerra MX had to be on here. That shit sounded like an episode of The Shield. I half expected Michael Chiklis to come barreling through my living room and tackle a Mexican. It's just...
The next pay-per-view, Rey Mysterio will be walking out to that song.
Oh, I fucking hope so. It'll be the first time I've liked Rey Mysterio in years.
Who's that jumping out the sky?
R.E.Y. Mysterio, here
Dude,
we go.
I need Dominic Mysterio to be, like, preceded by Conan and them all looking like, you know, fucking Mexican gangsters with the, you know, with the flannel, with the top button and everything, and 96 do-rags and all of that, and the Latino World Order t-shirt. And they need to come out to Sad But True by the Mexican Institute of Sound.
There you go. I agree.
know. I know that drove you nuts, Robert, and I'm going to give you a chance to speak on it, Odelay. But we bowdy and rowdy, or no, rowdy and bowdy. But I love that. I can't help it. I know it drove you insane, and you can talk about it. This is a safe place, a safe space. But it's
geez, those are the best.
Right here on the internet, safe place.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
That never goes wrong for anybody.
No, but I get so like hyped up. I love the Mexican rap in it. It's just like I know it feels like they just like Mexicaned up, Sad But True, and didn't really do anything, you know, like special with it. But it sounds so fucking hyped to me, man. I can't help it. I'm a simple man with simple needs.
Well, I mean, I hope you didn't do that to it. I mean, that I think was kind of my issue with it. I really felt like, I just kind of felt like they didn't do a whole lot with the song other than make it like a club remix.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that just wasn't really for me. I don't necessarily feel there's anything wrong with it because that's not really my, something I'm interested in hearing, frankly.
What kills me is that's not really my thing either. It's not like I have a tremendous amount of Mexican hip-hop going on in the house.
I mean, hey, you could have.
But, I mean, have you ever watched The Shield? Have you ever heard the opening rap that plays the show in? Like,
I have
it's
not.
a fucking hype song, dude. It really is. And this sounds just like that. And so, like, despite the fact that this isn't really my kind of music either, I can't help it when shit's hype.
And that's fair. I mean, it's one of those when you were like, I'm still going to play it, and I was like, oh, God. It just really, like, it did not meet my sensibilities at all, and I really just kind of felt like it's like when I found out that Zombie Ritual by Death was sampled for a hip-hop artist, and I was like, or The Klansman was once sampled by Brandy, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
And they were really not, I mean, they really weren't super pleased. And I in some ways, I just kind of feel like it's, unless you're really doing something interesting with it, like sampling someone else's work in that regard just feels wildly uncreative on the part of the person sampling.
Okay.
That's just me. Like,
this feels
again,
like,
that is
like the wrestling or the movie argument where, and it's funny, I just went over this when we reviewed *Malignant*, where like my initial reaction to the movie is like, this doesn't really elevate the medium at all. This doesn't do anything with the horror genre that's interesting. It's just a visual. It's visual candy. It's a treat. And I had to remind myself that some things are just a treat. If it gets you in the cockles and and it makes you sweat, and you're having yourself a good time, does it really have to be elevatory in nature? And so I see what you're saying, but I can't. It's just one of those things where, like, yeah, it's dumb, but who cares? I like listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fair. I mean, honestly, not everything has to be high art. If everything was high art, nothing would be high art.
Right.
And that's, I mean, and I fully stand by that as somebody who has been going through bouts of depression over the past few months. Sometimes when you just want to watch something and turn your brain off, it's nice. I've been watching a lot of Married with Children because that show doesn't really challenge a whole lot.
Do you still watch that Sentai Hentai Rentai Fun time.
Happy Go Fun Time stuff.
Yeah.
Here and there, part of what's been kind of difficult for me, which is funny, is having to read having to read the subtitles has just been too much for me to handle right now, which is silly. Considering the video game I had been playing before the new NBA 2K came out was all subtitled.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, I still watch it. I still love it. Still love anime and all that. It's just been, I've had to adjust certain things. Like, hey, my water was out for 3 days. And then the guys came out to look at it, and they said, your water's back on. I said, I know. But I just wanted y'all to come out anyways to make sure it was going to be okay. And then guess what?
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say, but I just wanted you to come out anyway because I'm lonely.
I mean, that goes without saying. But
it's nice to have visitors, sir. We just came to check your plumbing.
Yeah, we just came to check the well. But I went to go wash my hands earlier, and I hit the faucet, and I'm like, motherfucker. So now I get to wait for them to come by again. Sometimes old Gil just can't catch a break.
You need to make them brownies. Jesse, I was getting hardcore Clutch vibes from Jason Isbell. What do you think?
Yeah, buddy, I really, really, really dug that song. That made my list. That was an easy one for me when it came to comparing it to the rest of the Sad But True songs that were on here.
Sad but true.
They were. It was sad but true. And there are a ton of renditions of this. But yeah, man, there's like this bluesy Clutch kind of vibe that you could get from Jason Isbell and the 400 unit.
Yep.
Completely owned this cover and made it one of a kind.
It sounded like Clutch covering Howlin' Wolf, you know what I mean? Like Robot Hive Exodus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on my notes it says, has a nice kick to it, really folky and catchy, like herpes.
You should write for the Angry Metal Guy. That's fucking perfect. All right, some other ones on here is a live version by Sam Fender, another version by Royal Blood, St. Vincent, White Reaper, and YB. Robert, do you have any thoughts, concerns, and notes about the rest of these?
So for me, Sam, don't you jump up there. No.
Don't do it, Cat. Do not do it, Cat.
He's about to jump into my card collection.
No.
He hasn't done. It's been sitting there for a month because I've been just sad and not wanting to touch it. And I finally found some inspiration to just do it. And this fucker's about to jump into a pile of like 300 trading cards.
He's going to need himself into it.
Because he's a cat, and cats just say "fuck it."
The cats
yeah,
are
well,
assholes.
it's because he's a fat son of a bitch, and he wants to eat again, even though I already fed him. Fat son of a bitch. Anywho, so Sam Fender, my note on that is put it on Top 40 Radio. It's really trendy.
Okay.
Like, it was really pretty, but it just has that sort of Sam Smith, like, British sensitive guy that is going to sing you love songs straight to you. It's got that vibe to it. And I'm
piano forward.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like it was all right. Let's see. Yeah, Mexican Institute of Sound, club banger, and I hate it. And was Royal Blood one of them?
Yep.
It was yes, and it was one of the ones we cut, but yes.
Yeah, Royal Blood, nice modern rock. That's all I pretty much put.
I had a Black Sabbath feel at the beginning. Like, I was like, holy shit, where did this Black Sabbath come from? It turns into a pretty good cover, like, right after that, though.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember, was St. Vincent the next song?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll save my note for then.
No, it's sad but true.
Oh.
It's the next Sabbath True song.
Okay. I didn't write who did what. I just kept going. I found it actually pretty creative in terms of what it offered. And I found the vocals, quite frankly, to be sexy.
Oh.
Like, I felt like it was very alluring. Almost felt like a Bond intro.
Yeah, I got that. What you got for White Reaper?
I dug it. There's nothing new, but I dug it. And YB, the exact words are, "This makes me fucking moist." Punk speed.
All right.
South Korean rock band formed in 1996.
What is a Biffy Clyro? Does anyone know?
Yeah, I've got the notes here.
All right, go, crazy note guy.
Biffy
Hang on, let me ask you a question. You wrote notes, yeah?
I copied some stuff from Wikipedia.
Okay, but you wrote notes, yes?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I copied stuff and wrote some notes on top of that.
Fucking wake up, Jesse. So you wrote notes. Let me ask you a question. Did you use Grammarly for those notes?
I did, as a matter of fact. Fantastic app.
I didn't see it
Absolutely.
coming, guys.
Fantastic app.
Absolutely.
Coming, guys. I'm still new.
Well, I'll tell you, Jesse uses the Grammarly all the time to help him with his notes for comics and for this podcast and everything else that he does. Grammarly's AI-powered products help people communicate more effectively. Grammarly helps you write mistake-free on Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and nearly anywhere else you write on the web. Grammarly corrects hundreds of grammar, punctuation, and spelling mistakes while also catching contextual errors, improving your vocabulary, and suggesting style improvements. To download Grammarly today, go to getgrammarly.com/W2M Network. Again, it's getgrammarly.com/W2M Network to download Grammarly for free. Now, use your Grammarly written notes and tell me about the Biffy Clyro that you caught fucking a hooker in Mexico.
Okay, all right. Biffy Clyro, Scottish rock band, formed in Kilmarnock, East Ayrshire.
Somebody call Cruishon.
I think I'll kick
Somebody
my ass.
call Medicphonia.
So yeah, they're a Scottish rock band. There's your Biffy Clyro. What'd you think of the song, Mark?
I thought it was all right. I thought they did a good job with it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
you left the chats off. Go ahead, Coop. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, I thought it was really interesting. Not knowing a lot of their music, walking into it, I was like, oh, shit. All right, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. Mark, I noticed you left the chats off of the playlist, most likely because you wanted to cut it, but it seemed like you were awful, or you had to cut it. It seemed like you were excited about it, though, when we were talking in the messenger there.
You know what? Fuck it. Hang on one second.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Do it
fucking
live.
swerve, brah. Swerve, brah. Fucking swerve. Swerve. Yeah, that's some scuzzy punk rock right there.
They describe their sound as shed rock.
Okay.
Straight from Sunshine Coast, Queensland. So that's somewhere near Africa, if I remember correctly.
Down in the plains down in Africa.
Wales, as a matter of fact.
Yep. Well, boy, we are busting out all the hits tonight.
It's the Metal Hammer of Doom Blacklist of references.
There's one guy I should have got on this podcast.
There it is.
Oh, no.
Mark your bingo
Hey.
card.
My buddy Nick, who we should
Center
totally
square.
get on here sometime.
All right, let's move this on. Holier Than Thou by Corey Taylor slams. There's just goofy
can't-
shit on here, but occasionally you get a real hard one that's actually metal sounding, and Corey Taylor obviously, accomplished that with ease.
Yeah, you can't deny that's probably the best one of that whole bunch for me, man. Corey Taylor kicks ass doing the Holier Than Thou. I probably made my wife listen to that 3 times in the car on Saturday night. So
While you were driving her to the emergency room?
taking her to grandma's.
Nice. Well done.
Grandma.
I like how you're supposed to hit a high pitch, but you can't do it, so you're just like, Grandma.
Just scream it. How's that? Grandma.
Oh, Grandma.
Yeah, I can't hit a falsetto.
And they have,
And Rob Halford has trouble doing it too. It's okay.
All right, are we ready to
Good.
move this party
he's
on?
also like 80 something, isn't he? He's
Yeah,
up
he
there.
looks like Master Roshi
Oh wow.
because he's
Amazing.
grown a full beard out.
He's still kicking ass though. Taking
He
He
names.
is.
is, and fucking it too.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to move on, Mark.
There are a lot of girls on TikTok who allegedly like it in the back door, but I don't know if they like it in the back door just because they want you to like their TikTok so they can make money not doing a real job, or if they really just love a good hard cock up the ass. I really don't know the difference on
It's
the
so
TikTok.
funny because my wife watches these things left and
Yeah.
right, not the stuff you're watching, Mark.
She doesn't watch girls bouncing tits, and that's what
Well,
I'm
it was
into.
funny because this has been going on for months since she's been introduced to TikTok, and I go and I lay down in bed, and she's watching these things over and over and over, and finally a couple nights ago she goes, "You know something?" She goes, "TikTok gets really strange after dark," and I was like, "Oh yeah, really?" She apparently stumbled upon a few racy TikToks and some live feeds. And at one point I asked her, I said, "What are you watching?" I turn around, and I mean, there's this chick, and she's got music playing, and she's, just like you said, just bouncing her tits all over the place. And I guess her sister's like running mod in the back, like she's doing she's the moderator of the comments, and she's like yelling at her, like, "No, don't do feet, that's extra." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
If every girl allegedly that's on TikTok likes, fat bearded guys, I'm wondering where the culture of incels came from, because they should all be getting laid all the time. There's a disconnect between the amount of girls on TikTok who claim to like fat bearded guys and the amount of fat bearded guys that couldn't get laid in a whorehouse.
Oh yeah, I'm beginning to think that it's because that group will give them money, so they cater to it. Because as a guy,
supply and demand.
I was going to say strip club. That's how that
out,
shit works.
Every woman that I see on a dating site, it's like, I love a man with a sense of humor, and I'm just like, haha. I once actually straight up sent, "I hope I can make you laugh every time, but when I take my pants off."
Yeah,
I
don't
didn't get a response, but that's one of my favorite jokes.
I have saved on my personal YouTube a video of Peter Griffin doing the "What Grinds My Gears" thing, but it's the bit where he's like, oh god, who's he talking to? I can't remember which actress he's referring to. It might have been who's the chick from Mean Girls, the one that is a
Lindsay
drunk-
Lohan.
Yeah, where he's basically like yelling at Lindsay Lohan because in his mind Lindsay Lohan keeps teasing him, sexually, and he's like, "What are we doing here, Lindsay? We're doing nothing. That's what we're doing, because no woman ever wants to get laid ever." And I have been dying to put that on TikTok with the phrase that says above it, like, my response to every single girl on TikTok who claims to love bearded dad bod guys.
Yeah,
People are full of shit.
yeah. A lot of girls really dig bearded bod guys, which is great. That's
Sure.
Everybody needs that love, because as a guy who has a beard and a dad bod,
and struggles to find dates. I wonder how.
It's 'cause I've kind of realized too, the fact that I don't go out anywhere is probably part of the issue. All
right. Well, we have lots more songs to go through and lots more opportunities to insult girls on TikTok who are full of shit. So let's keep going.
Right.
The next grouping of songs that we have here, we've got Cage the Elephant, The Unforgiven, Diet Sig, The Unforgiven, Wherever I May Roam by Chase and Status and Back Row G and a bunch of other people, and John Potty all the time, Potty in the USA.
not even a flesh, tell them and say it, we just trust it, we spread the wolf everywhere. Tell them and be prepared or beef head. Couldn't walk again, dash every blood clot.
And the road becomes my pride. I'm stripped of all but pride. So in her I do confide. And she keeps satisfied. Gives me all I need. And with dust in throat, I crave all the knowledge. Will I save? To this game you stay a slave. To the game you stay a slave. Rover wanderer, nomad vagabond. Call me what you will. Call me what you will. But I'll take my time anywhere. Anywhere. Free to speak my mind anywhere. Anywhere. I redefine anywhere. Anywhere. Anywhere I may roam anywhere. Anywhere. Where I lay my head is home.
That's right, Robert Cooper. Wherever I may roam.
I actually don't remember. I actually stopped making notes past this point.
You need to get on that Grammarly, son.
I know. I haven't been using Grammarly. I've been using what have I been using? I've been using rapidtables.com/tools/notepad.
That's not one of our sponsors.
Well, no, I just wanted to say what I was using.
Only sponsored products, please.
Sorry.
Jesse, you threw Diet Sig, Schmagegi McGee. What'd you like about that one? That's a cool song, man. That was I don't know. I think by the time I got to this part of the album, I was like not paying that close attention. So when you were like, "Hey, you got to check this one out," I was like, "Oh, well, that is really good."
Yeah, it ain't bad at all. I already kind of mentioned it earlier. The Unforgiven is not my favorite song off of this album.
Yeah, so let me go through this. Let me go through this real quick because there's 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 versions of this. We have Cage the Elephant, Vishal Dadlani, Divine, and Shore Police. Is it The Divine? Robert Cooper, is it The Divine?
I have no idea. Probably.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, I remember these guys. I was like, is that dude fucking Indian? Yeah, he's Indian. He sounds Indian.
Diat Siag. Just to keep pronouncing it differently every time. Flatbush Zombies featuring DJ Scratch, which we initially had on here, then we cut it. Ha'ash. Jose Madero, and Moses Sumney. I don't know who the fuck these people are. They could have made this shit up. I would not have known.
Well, Moses Sumney, Ghanaian American singer-songwriter. I remember that version sticking out because it was like really soulful. But yeah, you got a lot of different versions. Now, earlier in the week or last week sometime, whenever I was going through the album, I think it was Saturday. But anyway, there was a comment I made about how uneven this album felt. Now,
Sure.
Coop, I think, thought I meant by the sound, because we've got so many different genres in here. What I meant was 6 fucking versions of The Unforgiven and 1 version of Wolf and Man. Okay, that's how fucking uneven this is.
Well, hang on. We haven't gotten there yet, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 versions of Nothing Else Matters and 1 version of The Struggle Within.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, something must matter for them to make that many versions.
Oh my
Wah,
gosh.
wah, wah.
So and it's funny because Spotify separates this into discs, which is hilarious because like one disc has 2 fucking songs on it, but the rest 90 different versions. But yeah, so I had with The Unforgiven, I had to make a decision as to which one stood out to me the most, which one did I really enjoy out of a song that I normally don't enjoy. Flatbush Zombies featuring DJ Scratch. Okay, so DJ Scratch, does that name sound familiar at all, Mark Radulich?
It does not.
1988 New Music Seminar Battle for World Supremacy DJ Champion. That's that DJ Scratch. Okay? This guy's been around for a while. Dude, you've probably heard him referenced in plenty of rap albums. So, DJ Scratch. But
unless he was one of the S1Ws, okay? What was it? What the fuck did S1W stand for? Security of the First World from Public Enemy. I don't know, or Flavor Flav. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not to be mixed up with BBWs.
Or SJWs.
BBCs. Anyway.
Or BBDs.
Really funny?
Are you down with OPV?
When I saw BBW, I'm like, yes, big boobied women. Yes, click. Oh, no.
Hey, now, to quote Quagmire from Family Guy, fat girls need love too. But they got to pay.
Yeah, but I was 12 and not signing up for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the internet.
It's all right,
so,
it's just like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? What am I doing with my life?
Albums produced by DJ Scratch, EPMDs, Unfinished Business, Business as Usual, Business Never Personal, Back in Business.
Oh my god, dude. I can't with this.
Busta Rhymes, It Ain't Safe No More. Okay.
Nice.
Funkmaster Flex and BJ, Big Cat, The Tunnel. Anyway, so, okay. Yeah, I'm done with The Unforgiven. Do you want my input on the other songs, or do you want to go to Coop about The Unforgiven? How do you want to do this?
Just you got the mic. Use it.
I'll use it right now. Wherever I may roam. Okay. I stuck with the country version on here, and a lot of what we got when it had country flavor in it, I really gravitated towards.
Sure.
And this rendition by oh my goodness, I had it in front of me, John Party. Never heard of the guy, but it's like some of the hardest country I've heard in quite a while. You could hear violins or fiddles in there. There is a lot to really enjoy out of that version. And I don't know, when we were doing the division, I can't remember if the Back Row G was one that fell into my lap when we initially picked it, or if
all that was missing from that song was stick 'em. Like
Fat Boys. Oh, I would have loved it. This
blood clot. Sorry. Bomba clot. Back Row G.
Bomba clot, come on.
Yep,
we're all white.
Yes.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
So wait a minute. Nope.
The internet is not a safe place. No matter
views of one Mark Radulich or not.
And reflect.
Oh, my whole TikTok for this tonight's going to be, so we mostly talked about Metallica, but we definitely spent a lot of time bashing all of you on TikTok. Please come listen to our podcast.
Oh, yes. That'll get the listens.
Yeah, well.
And that'll get the views.
If I've learned nothing from my 20 million years of podcasting, is that the only way to get people to notice you is to antagonize them.
Oh,
I mean, you could always talk about how you like butt stuff.
Do you want me?
It works
no.
for them.
It's like missionary. Do you want me? No. And it's like butt stuff. Yeah, I want you, baby. That's TikTok.
Back road.
Yeah.
Yeah, backdoor G. Go ahead.
Not back road G. Back road G. Rhyming.
That's a really
I
weird
enjoyed
note
the
that you get on
version.
recording there, Cam.
Yes, Jesse, you
right.
enjoyed the version.
I tell you what, you take your Cage the Elephant. I don't know if you advocated for that or not.
I did.
Okay, because I was not impressed.
Listen, motherfucker, there ain't no rest for the wicked. All right?
that
There
was-
was plenty of rest during that song. I was resting. I
like
had my
that
eyes
version.
closed. Almost fell
Yeah,
asleep.
that was the band. I was like, oh, that's not the pump. That's not the school shooter song.
There ain't no
Pumped up
rest
kicks.
for the wicked.
Yeah.
Ain't no for free. I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. And ain't nothing in this world for backdoor G. Sorry.
I'm so sorry I chose him to be on this list. Jesus,
Why?
we
I
should've
mean,
that
sometimes
off.
you just got to get in the back door, Jesse.
That's it.
apparently so.
Sometimes
He
you gotta-
backdoored his way into the list.
Sometimes you got to just barrel into
That
the
sounds
back
like
door.
a pain in the ass.
I'm looking for more jokes as we go through the podcast. I'm trying to find some fun names we can mess around with. I've already found one. When we hit the Nothing Else Matters with Miley Cyrus, I see the Watt on there, so maybe we can get a Stone Cold reference in or something.
What?
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 What? What?
That's okay. We got who, what. I think there's a where on here somewhere.
Yeah, wherever I may roam.
All right,
Oh,
Robert
shit.
Cooper. We got two Unforgivens featuring the back door. No, yes. And then two Wherever I May Roam. You got anything to say about these before we move on?
I mean, I gotta say, cell phone plans in 2003 were awful. So much roaming.
Oh, good one.
Thank you. Oh yeah, so yeah, Cage the Elephant just kind of existed. The one with Vishal Dadlani, Divine, and Shore Police, I was like, that's really fucking interesting, and it was. I will give that to them. Like, I don't mind if you fucking make a hip hop song, as long as it's like, you just do something with it, something a little different. That's cool. Don't just fucking
remix it.
sample it and I don't know, fucking stick your butthole in it like the Neptunes did. Diet Sieg was cool. The Flatbush Zombies existed. Ha'ash, I thought were very interesting.
I like to have hot ash with my eggs in the morning.
Yeah. As long as they're browns.
Yes.
Yeah, I really dug that, even though I thought it was funny that I dug that so much, considering my thoughts on the everything else. I don't remember Jose Cuervo and Moses.
He was a friend of yours.
Yeah, I thought that was Jeremiah. He was a
bullfrog. Yes, sir.
He was no friend of mine.
Yeah, the backdoor G, like, he was straight up. Like, I thought Chase and Status with the backdoor G, I thought that thing was shooting, Like, I thought it was blowing some loads everywhere. The Neptunes that existed, and John Pardee, I do not remember. So, yeah, we're already halfway through. Look at that. It's going to be a
All right.
fucking Metal Hammer of Doom classic 3-hour podcast.
We haven't had one of these in a while. Jesse and I had this down for a sign for a while. We were done like under an hour, like every single show. We're like, let's get the fuck out of here. We're gonna play all the songs at once.
Yeah.
and then you brought my fucking talkative, giggly ass back to the fold.
Yeah, so we brought old man fucking Aesop over here back to spin his yarns. All right,
Well, at
we're
least
gonna
I'm
play
not fucking blowing my yarn everywhere like fucking backdoor G.
Oh.
fucking tugging rope.
Hey, Jesse, go ahead and pick some more songs for us. No, I won't.
Do me a favor. Make sure to tag him in the fucking tweet.
The problem is,
I
I'm
love
going to
hate-
keep writing Backdoor
Hey,
G, and I'm not, and then I'm going to wonder why I can't find him on Twitter. All right, moving on to the next batch here. This one's going to be a long set. We're going to play a bunch here to kind of move things along. It's going to be a set of 5 tracks this time. We have Volbeat's Don't Tread on Me, Sebastian's Don't Tread on Else Matters. The best song on here, The Who, Through the Never. Not That Who, the other Who, H-U. And then Nothing Else Matters by Chris Stapleton, and then Nothing Else Matters by Miley Cyrus and Friends. And then when we're going to break, and then Jesse's got a game he wants to play, and then we'll get back to it. So here we go with Volbeat's Don't Tread on Me. Every day, Jesse, for us, there's something new. I want you to open your mind for a different view.
Okay.
And then open up that back door. No, just kidding.
See, I always do it and empty your bladders, but like that's more R. Kelly shtick than mine.
I got in so much trouble with my wife. Have you ever heard? Shocker. Have you guys ever heard the song by? It's not Dashboard Confessional. Oh gosh, Plain White Tees. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No. Oh yeah. What? No, wait. That's
There's only one way to say the 3 words.
That's what I'll do.
That's what I'll do. I love you. So, like, we were somewhere, and the song came on, and we might have actually been seeing Plain White Tees in concert. And we were having this, like, very romantic moment, and because I'm a fucking asshole, like, instead of just singing the song right to my wife, who I was, like, dancing with at the time, I was like, there's only one way to say 3 words, and that's what I'll do. I love Jews. And she's like, fucking hell, man. Way to ruin a moment. And I'm like, got a sense of humor.
I told you about that time my buddy Nick, right? You know, the one that we should get on the pod.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Listening to Community Property by Steel Panther.
I remember the story.
His girlfriend at the time.
Uh-huh.
And, like, you know what was coming. And he just, like, holds her hand and is, like, looking in her eyes. And it says, but my cock is community property. She's like, you're a pig. It makes me sick.
So my first wife, I went with her back home to Cleveland. Cleveland, Jesse.
That's right.
Cleveland
right up the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Went back to go see her family in Cleveland, and Clutch happened to be playing, Jesse.
Ooh, beautiful.
So I took her and her best friend, her best stripper friend at the time, to go see.
Yay!
Yeah. I've had an interesting life. And we went to go see Clutch in Cleveland. There's a line in a Clutch song. Oh gosh, help me out, Jesse. There's that one line. This had to have been on.
You put me on the spot. I fail miserably. So let's just see how well this goes.
What came out around 2005, 2006?
Well,
Oh gosh,
Robot Hive Exodus?
I was going to say Robot Hive Exodus,
that
or
was
I'm guessing
before. That
because I
was
only
like
know
2000.
like 3 of their albums.
That might have been
Beale,
2000.
Beale Street.
Yeah, it might have been Beale Street. In any case, one more blogger and I might learn to like you. That one.
Okay, all right, that's yep. See, on the spot,
Oh,
can't remember. I know the song, but
Yeah,
I don't remember
yeah.
the title.
I'll look it up in a second. Anyway, but that line in particular, come a little closer, baby. I won't bite you.
I won't bite you. Yeah.
One more lager and I might learn to like you. I said that to my wife in her face.
Nice.
And
Nice.
she probably
got
gave me
laid.
the...
Got laid 5 minutes later. I'm sure, right?
You can't treat him too nice, Jesse Starcher. You know what I'm talking about. That's actually a line from Peter Griffin and Family Guy. Any case, people listening to this podcast going, he's married twice? How? All right.
Yeah, how did he even get one?
Exactly.
How do they find time to
Speaking
get
of
married after
concerts-
watching The Family Guy so much? Go ahead.
I could have went and saw Clutch tonight, guys. I could have done it.
I'm going this weekend.
well.
I mean,
Pensacola,
they were
baby.
in Nashville, so that's like 3 hours away, but I have
Dude,
no life.
I'm driving like 6 hours to Pensacola, and I'm dragging my whole family. Yeah.
Pensacola, I hardly
Fun
knew it.
times.
All right. Speaking of, what is it? Mean times, good times, bean times. What's the fucking
Yeah,
Clutch
Bean
song?
Times. Bean Times. That's it.
Weird times.
It's about
That's the name of the
female
song.
masturbation. Bean times.
Anywho, so I had to explain to my daughter what rockabilly was when we were listening to Volbeat. I have to say, like, I had this on the car the other day when I took my kids to Shinobi to a parkour class, and my son is playing on his video game. He don't give a shit what we're listening to. My daughter and I were like rocking out. We were totally rocking out to the Mexican Institute of Sound. She was jamming in her seat. But she got into "Don't Tread on Me" by Volbeat too, and so I had to explain to her what rockabilly was. Then I had to explain to her basketball chains, Jesse, and that boy did that bring back memories.
That'd be battleship chains. Basketball chains is a different thing.
Okay. Sorry, brain don't work too good.
I have been scarred by battleship chains, Mark Radulich,
oh my
so
God!
I'll never forget that.
Jesse is the most. I said to Jesse the other night. I said, if anybody of the people that we podcast with ever says a nasty thing to Jesse and I'm around, they're out of the fucking group. They are forever exiled. Nobody will ever. And the second person that goes first is fucking Evan, because that poor bastard. But like Jesse is the nicest guy ever, and he's so positive, and that's why Jesse and I work well, and Robert Winfrey and I work well, because you can't have two of the same thing on every show. It gets boring. So Jesse is this really positive voice, and then there's me, who's like dick and prostitutes and anal fucking and and music sometimes. Yeah. Right? Yep. And then there's Jesse, like, yeah, exactly. And then there's Jesse. He's like wholesome and nice, and I wrote notes with Grammarly, and I'm lovely, and I'm and I'm a beautiful Christian, and he is. And then we reviewed this fucking Volbeat album, and Jesse was like, "Fuck you and your mothers, this motherfucking shit." I was like, "Oh, Jesse."
It wasn't that bad. It was more along the lines of I loved Volbeat. I had grown to appreciate what they had put out there. I was such a fan of the album Above Heaven, Below Hell, or I can't remember what it is now off the top of my head, but Heaven Nor Hell was one of the songs off there. Anyway, as we progress, yeah, sure. As we progress, we get to this next album, and they do a cover, which I didn't realize. I think that was a cover at the time, but they covered Battleship Chains, and it was, oh my goodness, it was some kind of classic hillbilly rock song that had been put out there. I can't remember the name of the band, but it absolutely made no fucking sense. And
he's so mad.
This is going, and I honestly think that it turned me. That album turned me on a point where I was like not a fan of Volbeat's newer shit anymore. I really became critical of what I was hearing and didn't like a lot of the stuff that they had been putting out after that. And one of the things that, remember when Don't Tread on Me released from Volbeat, and they also put a video out there. Mm-hmm. And I remember going, this song kicks all sorts of ass, but this video is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. All it is, because I sat there and listened to the whole song waiting for something to happen in this video, which all it is a truck going down the road in a post-apocalyptic scene and crashing into shit and just continuing to drive on. And that's all you watch. And every once in a while, they'll zoom in on the tires, and then they'll pull back. And there the fucking truck's on fire. Look at that. And then we zoom in on the tires again. Oh, look at the grill. And I'm like, what are we trying to say? Now, let me stop, because here's what I recently found out, just so long as, like, within the last week. So we had all these videos dropping for these songs that were on here. Corey Taylor's rendition of Holier Than Thou, Ghost's rendition of Enter Sandman, all have videos. And guess what? Volbeat puts them to fucking shame, because the rest of them look like some kind of fucking. It's not as bad as what was it we watched with Pantera, the MS Paint version of whatever the fuck that was. But it's not as.
Either someone said, either Robert just tried to say it, we talked over him. Fucking the Black Sabbath song. Help me, Robert.
Oh, fuck. Hole in the Sky.
Nope.
Damn it. Nope.
The other one.
Something about weed, wasn't it? I thought it was something about weed, but I could be wrong.
Hang on.
Something about, Sweet Leaf? No.
No. God damn it.
I don't know. Because the only one I could think of that Pantera did was The Badge and Hole in the Sky.
No, they've done shit tons of covers. Let me help you guys out here. Let me help you,
I
Jesse.
Got it. I'm looking it up.
Let me finish my point. Once we figure it out, I'm going to finish my point.
I got it. Planet Caravan.
There it is. So, Cooper, I don't know if you noticed or not, but at one point, Mark and I, Beavis and Butthead, had a shit ton of videos called the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra. And we started with that.
I wanted to get in on it, but also I'm lazy.
Oh, I understand. It's okay.
By the way, the peak of that, well, there were two peaks. The first peak was the one we did for Temper, where Jesse and I were crying laughing at this song. I don't think we had more fun on anything else we were doing than we had reviewing Temper Temper. I don't remember the band anymore, but this is just it's like an anger management group that goes insane. But the best was right before Jesse became Essential, we did an entire slew of Metal Hammer of Doom extras that we decided were all interconnected and made one big story.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Oh,
we had to stop it. We went from Ice-T's, what was it called, Mark?
Body
Help me
count.
out.
It was Body Count.
Body count
Body
in the
count.
house, motherfucker.
It was,
Yes, it was.
Body Count. What was the name of the song, though? Help me out. It was, oh, shit. What?
Talk shit, get shot.
No, it was one off the recent album. Anyway, he's taking over he's taking over a news station. I can't remember the name of the fucking song, but anyway, that led into a lot the Ozzy Osbourne's release, and we tied those fucking two together, and then we went into Nightwish. I think Nightwish was in there.
We were all
and
over the
had this
fucking
great
place.
story. But Mark, no, the greatest Metal Hammer of Doom extra was when we watched that student film that was.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Who fucking did that one?
Oh God! It was
oh
my God! It was one of those like German one of those German metal bands that I turned you on to that I loved.
Okay. So
But
anyway,
yeah,
we'll
but it was
find
like,
that out.
it was like whatever it was. They like shot in Africa, and it was like a student. I'm going to look it up now, real quick.
Yes, please find that because I need to remember the name of the band. But the video, we had no idea what we were getting into when we were getting into this thing, and it turns out, let's just say a monkey throws something and blows a helicopter up from the ground. He launched something into the sky and blew a helicopter out of the air. But back to Volbeat and their fantastic video of a truck going across.
Heaven Shall Burn.
Heaven Shall Burn. Yes. We got to share that with Coop as soon as this is over with because that is peak for me.
I'm doing it right now.
I almost pissed myself laughing.
I'm doing it right now. I'm finding it.
Okay. All right. But anyway, yeah, Volbeat's truck going over a post-apocalyptic landscape beats all the other Blacklist videos that I've seen. So I'll give them credit for that, even though I gave them a ton of shit going into it about how this video completely sucked. The version of Don't Tread on Me by Volbeat, fantastic. Loved it.
The best video I saw was Off's version of Holier Than Thou.
Okay, all right. Was there actually something happening in it?
It was an actual video.
That's good. I didn't get there.
Yeah, it was. It was on their playlist for it, but it was. It had like a really shitty, corrupt preacher trying to get back rubs from women and pretty much being like, "All right, so we ain't gonna fucking make it to Puerto Rico without you guys getting money. So don't take no for an answer."
I think Holier Than Thou is probably at least top 3 off of this album, the Black Album for me, in terms of what I really, really enjoyed. So I enjoyed a lot of those renditions too, as well. But I mean, let me just, I guess I'll push it forward there. Mark has found the video, so at some point, Coop, you'll have to sit down and just basically listen to me and Mark laugh for probably about 5 minutes.
Well, no, that's not the one we did. This is just the video. I think he just needs to experience the video.
Oh, okay. Well, then when you do that, I'll find the Metal Hammer of Doom extra and I'll turn it towards you. But I turn it back over to you, Mark, if you want to push it on along to Sebastian and Metallica, which was another one I threw up there just because of how funky that one sounded. What do you think of that one?
That was a weird one, man. This is one where I kind of see what Coop is saying about like some of these just sound like they took the song and then just sort of messed with it. Like, like they opened up their copy of GarageBand and were like, what can I mess with? And they were just experimenting. It's a bizarre one.
Okay. All right.
No, the fun of that group, the Chris Stapleton Nothing Else Matters kicks all kinds of ass. But my favorite thing on here besides the Mexican Institute of Sound is the Who's Through the Never. I fucking love the Who. And if you're like just listening to this and you don't know what we're talking about, the Who is like a Mongolian band. They're fucking great, man.
Yeah. Make sure you because a lot of people may be thinking like the Who came back on tour just to do a Black Album song.
not the British, not the British band the Who, the HU Who, this like Mongolian metal band. They're like the best thing out there. But yeah, their iteration of like that was another one where I was just like, Now that one, my daughter wasn't so much into. She thought it was okay, but like I'm in the seat just fucking just jamming and driving and bouncing. My daughter's like, we're gonna die, and I'm like, yeah, but there's no better way to die than by listening to Through the Never by The Who. It's fucking amazing. Didn't The Who do another Metallica cover, or is this the
Yes.
one? Okay.
No, they did another one called they did a rendition of Sad But True, so they must have decided not to put that one on the album. And I remember listening to that one and going, holy shit, that one kicks ass.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Should have called it
this is
Sad
good
But
enough.
Who.
Sad where who? There's nothing to be sad about. So now, can you fit any more star power?
Cindy Lou Who. Dun, 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 dun. Dr.
So
Zeus.
speaking of the Who, what about what? Miley Cyrus and Elton John and
Yeah, let's talk
Yo
about
Yo
Miley.
Grandma. Sorry, I had to
Where
put
was
that in there.
fucking Elton John at? Was he just on the keyboards?
I probably.
been, yeah.
Can we
You
talk
didn't
about
hear
what
him
a
singing.
fucking white Miley Cyrus's balls finally dropped and she sounds like a dude? What the fuck happened here?
He definitely sounds different. Mark, I believe you have a clip.
I
As
do
a matter
have a
of fact.
clip. You set this up, Jesse, and then you give me the go ahead, and I'll play it.
Well, it's kind of easy to point, or I should say, draw lines to a previous Metallica song off of the album Reload, where Miley Cyrus somehow went back in time and featured her vocals on that one as well. Mark Radulich, hit my music. The memory remains. Yep.
And we're
Love
done. Hang on. That's enough of that.
Beautiful. Well, can you tell? I mean, can you see what
Yeah,
I'm saying there?
Yeah, if I didn't know any better, and you were like, "Oh, Miley Cyrus is on that song, and she's doing the la 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 large penis on me," like, yeah, I would totally believe you. I believe that's what she
that's
said.
another video, sir.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus and her huge cock.
Oh. Was not expecting that.
Nobody really does.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition or Miley Cyrus's huge penis.
Her
She is-
massive donger and old man balls.
Her voice sounds deeper than most men I know. It is the weirdest fucking thing.
Yeah, she's got a lot of range too. It's featured on this, and I really can say that version of Nothing Else Matters is one of the standouts out of the list. And like I said, you can't fit any more star power in that freaking song.
When we watch Black Mirror, and at the end of the episode that she's on, she does the actual cover of "Head Like a Hole" by Nine Inch Nails, and I remember talking to you at the time about that, going, I really liked her rendition of "Head Like a Hole." I didn't realize just how deep a register she can hit. Like, she doesn't sound, and this is not an insult. Like, I know most of what I say is insults, but this is not an insult. But she sounds fucking manly. Like, she doesn't like, her voice is not feminine in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And it's not that it's bad. Like, I don't really care. It's so funny because, like, we did Life of Agony not that long ago, and we did The River Runs Red, and we kind of compared it to whatever the new album was post-transition for Mina Caputo. And I struggled with it, and I don't care that Mina is Mina. That wasn't the issue. In fact, I was, like, wildly advocating for Mina to be happy as a transitioned female.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the issue. The issue was she couldn't get rid of her Keith Caputo voice, no matter how hard she tried.
Yeah,
and it was like, because she just wasn't, like, either she couldn't or she wasn't allowing herself to go full on deep voice like she would in early Life of Agony. The vocals in the new Life of Agony sounded bizarre. Like, this is the opposite, to where, like, Miley Cyrus is like full-throated man voice, and it sounds awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's honestly just kind of, it surprised me because I just did not see it coming in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kept being like, that's not Elton John. What the fuck is that? I really was waiting for fucking Elton John, though. It was like,
Yeah.
that you know, you got him on the credits. At least let the man sing.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping as well. I actually listened to it twice just to see if like maybe I missed something. But yeah, he's
breaking a Rocket
you just
Man
hear
midway through.
He's yeah. I would have loved that. That would have been great. Would have loved to have heard that. But he did a fantastic job on the piano. Completely stands out. I'm not too familiar with Yo-Yo Ma's work. I've heard that, well, let's just say I watched a Seinfeld episode that referenced Yo-Yo Ma, and I hope
like, let's
somebody
just
gets that.
say I'm uncultured swine.
Yeah, we'll put it that way.
Same.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever, there's so much on that song. You could pick out just about everything that each artist is doing, and it is done fantastically.
All right, last 4 songs of the night. We've got what, Coop? What?
I was just chuckling at the last of the night, and I'm just like, I'm sure the listeners are like, fucking finally.
All right, we've got Good Night.
I tell you can get through this album a lot later than our podcast. So there you go.
We got Of Wolf a Man by Goodnight Texas, The God That Failed by Imelda May, My Friend of Misery by Izube, and The Struggle Within by Rodrigo Gabriela.
Off through the new day's mist I run, out from the new day's mist I've come. I hunt, therefore I am, harvest the land, taking of the fallen lamb. Off through the new day's mist I run, out from the new day's mist I've come. We shift, pulsing with the earth, company we keep, roaming land while you sleep. Shape shift, nose to the wind, shape shift, feeling I've been, move swift, all senses clean. Earth's gift, back to the meaning, the light.
You just stood there screaming, fearing no one was listening to you. They said the empty can rattle the most. The sound of your own voice must soothe you. Hearing only what you want to hear, and knowing only what you heard. You're smothered in tragedy, and you're out to save the world.
right. Well, that's Metallica Blacklist in all of its glory. I have to say, that Imelda May, The God That Failed, is better than the Metallica version. That is some hot bananas right there. That is some good shit.
Yeah. I really like that. I noticed that the Idols version, it was different as well. I know we didn't play that, but I don't know if you've ever listened to the Idols before. I never have, but I could tell you that if they sound like what they did in that cover for The God That Failed, follow the God That Failed, sounds like fucking Rob Liefeld doing an impersonation of fucking Todd McFarlane, which nobody probably gets that outside of the metal community unless you're a comic book fan. But trust me, it sounds like this. Rob, you got to stop doing that. But anyway, that's what Idols reminds me of.
Okay, telling him to stop trying to draw feet.
Stop, Rob. You got to get your book out on time, Rob. You got to stop that. Follow the God That Failed.
Nice, well done.
That's fucking funny.
But anyway, that Imelda May, I had to land on that one. It was a great rendition of The God That Failed. I really like that. My Friend of Misery, I really enjoyed that take. That's one of I think my second least favorite song off of the album. I'm not a fan of that song off the Black Album, but her rendition of it's really good. And we had two songs there that really only got one cover, of Wolf and Man and The Struggle Within, both which, The Struggle Within doesn't even have any vocals, but it's done fantastically. Again, another great cover that's just straight up acoustic, and we got some hand drums in there, so I enjoyed it. But I mean, to close us out, I think for myself, I really enjoyed what we got out of the 50-some songs. There's something here for just about everyone, and you can make your own Black Album covers. #covers, Mark Radulich.
Hey, if you're interested in checking this out, if you haven't heard it yet, and you're like, where can I find the Metallica Blacklist? You know where you can find it, Jesse? Where can you find it, Jesse?
I imagine somewhere on Amazon.
You can find it on AmazonMusic.com. And, you might be thinking, well, I don't want to pay for it because obviously valuable things are given away for free. Warner Brothers Pictures and HBO Max. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Burn.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for nothing. Well, that's okay because we're giving away a free 30 days of Amazon Music Unlimited. You can stream all you want. You can stream the Blacklist. You can stream the Black Album. You can stream the Blackout. You can stream the Black Eyed Peas. It doesn't matter. You get a free 30 days. Thank you. You can get a free 30 days on us by clicking the link at getamazonmusic.com/W2M network for a free 30 days of the Amazon Music Unlimited service. You fill out the sign-up process, agree to the 30 days, and if you like it, you keep it past that, you pay the monthly fee like you would for Spotify or Apple Music. You don't, you cancel, no fuss, no muss, no contracts, no pains in the butt. Robert Cooper, I'm going to give you the final word here. You listened to all 9 hours of the Blacklist. What did you think?
I thought that I would also come up with a pretty good covers album with songs that weren't on this.
Okay.
So for Enter Sandman, Prong covered it. I love me some Prong.
Sure.
Let's see. Oh, I don't know what song that is. Holier Than Thou, Testament covered.
Okay.
Ooh,
The Unforgiven was actually covered by an industrial metal band called The Defiled.
Yep.
Wherever I May Roam. Apocalyptica did that in 96, of course. Don't Tread on Me was actually done by ICS Vortex, who has been in Dimmu Borgir and a whole bunch of other stuff. Through the Never, we've got Evile and Firewind covering that.
Nice.
Nothing Else Matters.
Like me some
Doro.
Firewind. Okay.
I fucking love Firewind. Of Wolf and Man, Savage Messiah, who they fucking kick ass. I love them. Sodom covered The Struggle Within in 2011, and I fucking love Sodom. And of course, the one song I wish was on here, My Friend of Misery by Dark Tranquillity. I love that cover so much. They have some really fucking banging covers on the deluxe edition of The Gallery from I think 95 or 96. Fucking love that album. Nice. Anywho, to wrap up my thoughts on everything, There were some really fucking good songs on here. I'm not going to lie. The Goodnight Texas of Wolf and Man I can live without for the rest of my life. But, I mean, there's actually some really interesting ideas that you get from a lot of these. Which, coming in, I was just expecting a bunch of ho-hum, humdrum horse shit. And, no, I was actually I was happily surprised by, what they were able to give us overall. I would definitely say if you're a big fan of the band, Dave, what the fuck are you doing?
I am the captain. My name is Dave. Meow.
New band we're going to be talking about next week. Dave, what the fuck are you doing right here on the Metal Hammer of Doom?
The fuck is Dave?
Who the fuck is Dave?
He's my cat.
No,
Okay,
it's a bit. It's a bit.
Oh, okay.
That's a cat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is my cat. My mom refuses to call him by his name because that's my dad's name, and she hates my dad. It's fantastic. Anywho, I would say, especially if you find bands that you like, or maybe you just kind of hear, like, maybe if you're not even a metal fan and you just kind of see this, give it a fucking shot. I mean, I didn't love everything on here, but I'm also a big fucking metalhead that doesn't enjoy Rey Mysterio's entrance theme like some people on this podcast, and that's okay.
Totally. All right.
But overall, I can't exactly give this a solid grade. I mean, a real grade. I would really give it like a solid 3 out of 5 just because you're going to find something, but it's kind of hard because this was for charity anyways.
Yeah.
All right. This weekend, we've got some re-airs for you. We've got the 93 to 09 Clutch retrospective, and then we've got our review of Earth Rocker. And then on Monday, we'll be back here again to do Andrew WK's God is Partying. And then at the end of the month, the 29th, oh, Jesse, church is in session. It's time to repent.
I
Confess.
can't wait.
Confess to the poppy, Jesse. Confess your sins.
Yep. I will gladly worship at the altar of Poppy.
Of the poppy. Do you worship at the altar of the poppy? You should, Robert Cooper. Confess your sins to the poppy.
I listened to one song by her, and I was like, oh, boy.
Well, it's another long night on the Metal Hammer of Doom.
No, well, I mean, if I really don't like something, I can have some fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
Good.
We love the poppy here, and we can't get enough. Our Christmas show this year is the Poppy Christmas EP plus some other stuff she did. Can't get enough of that. Can't get enough of that Sugar Crisp or Poppy. In the meantime, myself and Robert Winfrey can't get a podcast done in under 2 hours, so we spent that amount of time talking about Malignant, among other things. For the last 3 days, it's been all Jesse all the time. Sunday was the second to last ever syndicated source material that he did. Savage Dragon, he did that with Ronnie Adams, and then him, the Calandros family, and Ronnie Adams talked Why the Last Man in conjunction with the new Why the Last Man TV show on FX on Hulu. And then he did something old, something new, and something blue. Him and Cole Marantet talked Transformers Back to the Future. So that's all up in the archives. Tomorrow, Gavin Napier will finally break his hiatus from podcasting, and we'll talk Ted Lasso Season 1. So go ahead and, it's going to be fun. So go ahead and give that a shot. If you
a good show?
It's amazing. If you've just now listened to us for the first time and you've enjoyed us, and really, why wouldn't you? Last week we did Iron Maiden Senjutsu, and the week before that we did Dee Snider, Leave a Scar, and a couple of months ago we did the Buck Cherry, because who doesn't love the cocaine, Mama Can You Wait? So we've been doing the Metal Hammer of Doom since like 2012, I think. So
yes.
So we have, just on this feed alone, we've got stuff going all the way back to 2017 to listen to almost weekly, except for when Jesse was essential, and I stopped doing Sad Man specials. But other than that, like I said, we went pretty much weekly for a really long time, and we're putting up more of the 2012 through 2017 stuff almost every week. So there's shit tons of Metal Hammer of Doom on this feed. So if you like us, but you're not really into like football and soccer and movies and television, but you just want to hear the Metal Hammer of Doom, come subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast. There's a link tree. It'll take you anywhere that you want to listen to podcasts, wherever it is you found this, if you don't want to listen to it where you found it. Plus, all of our shit's on YouTube. Again, we encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to check me out, I'm on @Mark Radulich on Twitter. I will answer you. I will respond to questions and queries and insults and constructive and non-constructive criticism. Unless whatever you say is dumb, then I'm not going to respond because who cares? But if you're like, but why are you the way you are? I'll respond to that all day long. And more to the point, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we'll get out of here. If you happen to be on Apple Podcasts and you're listening to us there, before you delete this, before you mark this podcast as played, go down a little bit more. There it is. That's the spot. That's where the rate and review section is. You'll find a comment there that says, "What the heck?" Write something else. I don't care what else. Just anything. I don't even care how many stars you give us. That's not what I'm after. I'm not begging for clout like most of the girls on TikTok. I just want that comment gone. I don't care if it gets replaced by not only "what the heck," but "fuck you, Radulich." Great! I'd love to see my name in print next to the words "fuck you." Or if you have something complimentary, I guess that's good too. Either way, please get rid of that one comment from before I was on this feed that says "what the heck." That's all I ask. Is that too much to ask, Jesse?
I don't think so. I think we ought to start with 1 star and work our way up.
Yeah,
but I'm perfectly fine with 1 star as well. But yeah, leave us a comment there.
I mean, I've only been at this since 2006. It's fine.
I mean, what the heck doesn't even emote anything? It's like somebody's confused.
Yeah.
Like, did they accidentally land on this comment page and decide to respond in some way? I don't know. At least give us an affirming review, such as "you guys suck" or "wow, I can't wait to listen to more."
See, we used to get really great comments on YouTube, like you guys were having a lot of fun, and then went suddenly racist, and now I hate you. See, that's great. We know what we did wrong. we can learn. Stop making fun of poor baby metal. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Oh man. How talk about PTSD, Coop.
It drove Jesse off of YouTube is what happened there.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah, long story. All right, that's it. That's all for me. Jesse, you got anything?
No, hey, listen, I made a Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane joke earlier, and I run a 90s. I've run it. I host it. We'll just put it that way.
No,
a
you
90s
run that
centric
show. You run that shit, Jesse.
90s centric comic podcast called Unspoken Issues, and folks, you can check out some of that great stuff in the archive. Recently, we talked about Rocco's Modern Life and Duckman, 2 of the final issues of their respective series. And then Chris Armstrong and I just kind of went on a little bit of a discussion about past experiences in our lives as they relate to the comic books. So that's all that was. But hey, if you dig 90s comics, check that out. We also do the Tripped Up Trivia right here on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. We're shooting for monthly trivia podcasts, and if you like to play trivia and you like podcasts, well, this last episode that we did on toys was pretty fun. I got a little shit about how long I wrote the questions, but that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. Game was about an hour long, and then you could stick around for another half hour and listen to these guys give me hell. It was a lot of fun.
Jesse wrote AP questions.
I got in trouble because I talked about how eager kids wanted Nerf guns in their hands, and I disagree, but hey, whatever. Anyway, yeah, you can check that out as well. I think that's it. Coop, you're up, buddy.
My cat needs to get out of the fucking blinds because I have to pay for that if they break. The only podcast that I'm ever involved with, that's not this one, hey Dave, love you, is Remind Me Why I'm Sober. My friend Hannah Woodcocks has been doing that off and on for the past few months. She started back doing it again, I hope, because she's been advertising it. So knock on wood, it's going to bring something about. Beyond that, hey, the new NBA 2K's out. So if anybody wants to play me, I am at Hammer of Coop on the PS4. Play me in 2K. I'm not great, but I play it a lot. So I got to count for something. And yeah.
All right.
Praise hail, raise Dale.
I am the captain. My name is Dave.
He is the cat, and his name is Dave.
Oh my God,
are
we've been
the
at this
cat.
for over 2 fucking hours. Fuck my life. Be
It's
well.
a classic.
Be well, be safe, and behave.